So is a twin flame union possible? So I'm always getting asked the question, will I reunite with my twin flame? So let's get straight to the point. I can't tell you if that's going to happen. That depends on you. No one can tell you that if that's going to happen because there are so many different types of scenarios and different circumstances and different alignments for every particular individual that there is no cookie cutter to this journey. You're the sole person that can answer the question. And that means diving deep into yourself. That means connecting to yourself. That means trusting yourself. That means believing in yourself. And that means that you and a part of you can decide if what you have, what it takes to reunite with the one based on the fact, are you going to become the one? So let's talk about 3 ways that can help you determine if you're going to reunite with your twin flame. The first thing to think about is, that's going to determine this, is how long is it going to take you to achieve an inner union? Because the ultimate goal of this whole relationship, this whole connection, is for you to become one with yourself. It's going to help you then return to the authentic version of you. So reuniting with them actually is an expanded version of yourself that you're waking up to. And that's restoring the wholeness within all of your parts, all of your pieces. And yet there is a paradox to this idea, because not only do you have to become the one to attract the one, but it also requires that you come into alignment with this integration in yourself. And even once you do, there are so many other factors that can determine outside of you whether the reunion is going to take place based on different alignments of humanity and the contract that you have together that connects to the bigger piece of the whole of what you assigned to do within the whole universe of your piece in changing humanity for the reason and the purpose of the whole twin flame dynamic. So no one can tell you how you're going to take responsibility to become your best self. No one can tell you that, because until you do, you cannot come into the full alignment with that other match that's going to fit you from a new version of yourself. And if you'd really like to come into that new version of yourself, then I really invite you to join me on my live Zoom calls and my mentorship program for a new program to accelerate your ascension. And I have beta launch specials with bonuses, discounts. You'll see all the information below, and there's some extra added discounts that you can take advantage of through January 31st. The code below is attached to a link, and you can read all the details there. Make sure to watch the video, look at the page, reach out here if you have any questions, and I'll make sure that you get the information you need. But most importantly, you'll be meeting with me live twice a month on a Zoom call that's going to help you confidently move forward and release all of your limitations. It's going to help you transform your life so you can live your highest reality through a coaching process, courses online, and community where we stay connected. So a second idea for you to think about when it comes to if you're going to reunite with your twin flame would be to look at and ask yourself, how long is it going to take me to love myself? Because if you're not coming into the love of yourself, if you're not standing up, showing up, speaking for yourself, if you are worrying, wondering, and waiting on someone to fill that void, or you're not coming into alignment with your own soul's destiny, and there's just, again, so many factors. If you're not doing these things, no one can determine if you are or when you are. And it's about, when are you going to do these things before you can even begin to determine how that's going to align with another person. And so I invite you to take a look at an opportunity to trust your own self, to believe in your own self. That's a piece of the love in this process. And I highly recommend you get plugged into my self-love makeover playlist that you can check out a link above and below that will help give you tools and resources with 6 aspects that it takes to love yourself so you can begin to fully, truly embody. And keep in mind, when it comes to loving yourself, it's not about just knowing it or taking certain actions. It's literally embodying it to where your thoughts, your feelings, your actions come into alignment with the truth of yourself and your ability to harness the energy and the power and the peace and the purity and your ability to have confidence in who you are and why you're here, and to know that you are the creator of all of this. And if you don't like what you've created, one of the ways to love yourself is choose to recreate something different. And now you begin to go through a process of letting go of the parts of you that aren't serving you. And then you can begin to call in the parts of you that maybe aren't here yet. And letting go of certain things is going to help give you the clarity of what it is that you need to connect to become more of that. And then you can, go in to ask that future self of, why am I here? What is it going to take for me to learn what I need to learn so I can begin to show up more authentically, more in a place of truth and trust, and to really surrender into the timing of my truest nature of who I am, and that, it's divine timing. So if you come into the place of the alignment, the frequency of what it takes for you to connect to that person by connecting within, then it's just a matter of fully surrendering and trusting that you can have what it is you desire because you have became it, which is, if you want love, you have to be love, show up as love, experience love, and share love from the inside out. And if you'd like to learn more ways to love yourself, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps promote the information that we're, putting out there to make much more positive experience, and hit that notification bell so that you know when all my videos and content come live. So one of the third things you can think about when it comes to the idea if you're going to reunite with your twin flame or not is to really look at the concept of if you're both moving in the same direction. So you really need to look at a couple of things in that. Do you have a separation? And a lot of times that separation is in a physical sense, meaning one person might live in one country or another person in another. Means you might live in different states. It might mean that you've met once and maybe even never met, but you feel this connection that is really tapping into you and waking you up. And so within that, you need to determine if there is a physical connection or not. And then if there is a energetic connection or not. But most importantly, is that connection moving in the same direction, or is it creating the contrast and the polarities that's creating the role reversals within, that's going to realign with everything and everyone, including the twin flame around you, meaning it will match based on and energetically based on your internal vibration and your internal aspects. And I mentioned this earlier, but it's really important to know that you have contracted with this person and all these people that could be your teachers to learn what you need to learn, to gain and collect fragments of yourself, and to use the experiences as mirrored reflections for you to collect the part of yourself you've separated from. And so in that, you have a soul contract. And so what is in the contract? Because know that whoever your partner is already contracted. And you just need to just show up and learn what you need to learn and get out of the way and allow it to unfold in a divine order, and trust that whatever it will be is for the highest good. And in addition to that, know that there is also the joint assignment between you, as in what are you doing for the collective? And to know that this is a collective mission. And it's more about cleansing and clearing the collective energy and making an increase and shifting consciousness collectively to bring unity for everyone. But the alchemy of that says we do it from the inside out. But also to keep in mind, the reflection of the outside in also keeps the energy moving within you. So it's therefore, you just really need to make sure when I say moving in the same direction, is the energy flowing? Is it in harmony? Or is it in contrast? In the frequencies of, there's a couple aspects in the natural laws of the universe that say, the laws of polarity, and where you have like attracts like on one end for the type of situation you need or the experience you need might be similar, but you're learning something different from the opposite sides of the spectrum of that lesson, where one might need to be experiencing abandonment and not being open to receiving and putting up walls based on triggers and emotions, where the others need to actually open up. And these are going to come into a contrast that's going to put you in a position where you both are working on the same thing, but you both need the opposite lesson, which is going to put you basically in checkmate with them and then still mate with yourself, because it's about you getting what you need and not looking outside of yourself as to what that is. And so you've contracted both personally within for this, and then together, and then collectively. And in that, there's a bandwidth I've talked about. And if you've not watched my Twin Flame Ascension Redefined playlist, I would watch that, because it's going to talk a lot about the Twin Flame mission from a bigger perspective on the collective scale, and help you truly understand the point of the journey, and help you understand a piece of what your process is that connects to the whole. And that will really help you gain more power within the idea of why this is happening for you, not to you. So one of the things that I like to kind of answer that question, if you're going to reunite with your twin flame or not, is based on a rhetorical question. And that is, do twin flames always reunite? And that is where I kind of said this collective mission plays a role, and that we're all dismantling programs, concepts, ideas, cleansing bloodlines, and clearing out karma. And so we are here to really dissolve and to break down what's not working in society. And so while the history teaches us that it's about the relationship, no, it's more of a process, not about the person. And so one of the things I've saw from the many years I've worked with twin flames, and in this process of this collective shift and collective awakening that we are experiencing, is in this collective expedition that more twin flames than the history of time are joining forces to wake up to their identity, to remember who they are, so that they can become the one that we want to experience the inner unconditional love vibration. That really, what's coming, there's words coming through with that. It's more like humility and compassion and beyond unconditional love, because unconditional love we can connect to and we can relate to, but we're taking that up a notch as we come forward together and join forces. So there's the power, and the more that collectively join, the more power we have. And the ultimate goal is to raise the vibration of the planet. And so in that spectrum of fear to freedom, basically, which we're all seeking sovereignty within ourselves, which is going to bring sovereign relationships and bring, wholeness to the planet as we move forward in the future, that our twin flame dynamic really does play a part in that spectrum of the collective energetic shift. And so if we stay in these lower vibrational aspects of this journey, it's a choice at this point, or we can choose to shift and choose to make our thoughts, feelings, emotions, our decisions, our truths, and our beliefs and our perspectives from a higher frequency. And that by doing that and making that conscious choice, not only are you elevating and making a quantum leap into the opportunity to experience the love you desire and to come into a reunion, then if you choose to stay in the low patterns and the low frequencies, because in that place you're going to be clearing and imploding and going through unnecessary struggles, trauma, and suffering that you no longer have to do if you can shift your perspective. So I hope this video has helped give you some information and light, and help give you clarity on the idea of reuniting with your twin flame and what that truly means. And so make sure to let me know in the comments below what that looks like for you and where you are in that journey, and if this has helped you just understanding this information. And I look forward to sharing more information with you about this journey. So may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Make sure to like, comment, and share the shine. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.